guys, today we're going to be doing some quick and easy hairstyles for school. For this first one, I've started with a side part, and then I'm coming to the side that has less hair, and I'm going to grab a section right here above her ear. I am going to spray this hair with some water so that we don't have flyaways. I'm going to be making an infinity braid with this section, so I'm splitting it in half, and then I'm going to break off a small piece from this bottom strand, and I'm going to be using this the entire length of the braid. So I'm going to take it and bring it over the strand it is sitting next to, and then under the other strand, and then I'm going to wrap it around that piece and bring it over and then under. So you're basically just weaving this same piece over and under the other two sections. So if you can just remember to go over and under and then wrap it around, you're always starting by going over and then under. And you want to do this fairly tight or it's just going to end up looking more like a regular braid. And you can actually tighten this up as you go. As you can see, I have some gaps up here where I first started. I'm just going to kind of push those together so that I have a good start to the braid. And then I'm just going to keep going down the length of the strands. Depending on the length of hair you're working with and the length of braid that you want, you may need to start another section. So as you can see here, I'm almost out of hair. If I wanted to keep going with this, I could just break off a new strand and then continue with the braid with the new strand. Her hair is long enough that that's about the length of the braid I want anyway, so I'm just going to stop right there. And then I'm just going to tie this off with an elastic kind of under a piece of hair here so it disappears. So I just grabbed a small strand of hair kind of underneath, and I'm going to combine that with the braid with a small elastic. If you'd rather use a bobby pin to tie this off, you can do that instead. For this next style, you can part her hair on the side or in the center if you prefer. And then again, I'm just going to get the front section of her hair wet to avoid flyaways. I'm starting with a small section here in the very front, and I'm going to split this in half, and then I'm going to bring the strand that's closest to her face over the one in the back, and then I'm going to add a tiny piece of hair to that section that's now in the front. And again, I'm going to twist it to the back and then add another strand to the piece in the front. If you want to do larger, chunkier sections, you can do that, but I think this one looks really pretty with the smaller strands. You can see the detail pop out. I'm just going to continue with this pattern until I get down to almost her ear. I'm going to stop adding in hair on this strand here. I've just left out a little bit in front of her ears so that she can curl it out or do whatever she wants. And then I'm just going to keep twisting back until I reach the center of her head. And I'm not doing a rope twist, this is just a simple twist. Just the front over the back. Now that I've reached the center, I'm just going to have her hold this strand while I do the other side. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing over here. Both of those twists made, I'm just going to make sure that the back of her hair is smooth and looking how I want it to look, and then I'm just going to tie them together with an elastic. I'm going to start this hairstyle basically the same way we did the last one, only I'm going to take bigger pieces. So as you can see, I'm starting with a fairly large section. Again, I'm going to split this in half and twist the front over the back. And then I'm adding in a pretty big piece to that front strand, twisting it over. And again, I'm going to go down until I get to her ear. So I basically only brought in 3 pieces right there on the side. And then again, I'm just going to twist this down a little ways and have her hold it. And then here on this other side, I'm going to start right here above her ear, and then I'm going to bring the twist back along the back of her head. So I've basically grabbed that entire side section to start with. I'm going to split it in half, twist the bottom over the top, and then I'm adding hair into this bottom strand. And again, I'm taking pretty large sections. And I'm going to be using up all of her hair, so you don't want to leave any hanging down below that. Just grab the entire piece. So at this point, I've used up almost all of her hair. I do still have a little bit hanging down. I'm going to combine all of this into 3 strands, and I'm just going to finish it with a regular braid. So I'm just going to take some of this section here and add it into that strand on the side. And then I'm going to take this front piece and add it in with the rest of that. And I'm just going to braid that entire thing together. Okay, here's the finished look. I like this one better than a regular side braid because these back pieces are going to stay in better and everything won't fall out throughout the day.